Greetings, Peter Nelson here with Full Service Property Management. I want to share with you a story, just a short one. Back in the late 1980s, I'm living in Bend, Oregon, had two rentals and a personal home at that juncture in my life. And real estate was going up in Bend, Oregon at a clip of 18% per year. California had discovered Bend, and they were driving prices literally through the roof, pun intended. And I knew our net worth was just skyrocketing, and I couldn't figure out why or how. And it took me about 2 weeks. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, I guess, but laying in bed every night, I would work on this math problem, and I would try to figure out what is the math behind this all. And I came up with this example, and I want to share it with you. I had to simplify it because, again, I was doing it all in my head. So I assume that you buy a house for $100,000, okay? And you put 10% down. All right, $10,000 down, and you take a mortgage for the other $90,000. A year later, you sell the house. It's gone up 18%, so it's now worth $118,000. For the purposes of this example, laying in bed, I didn't want to take into account the fact that there's real estate commissions and closing costs, or that I was paying down the mortgage and all that secondary complications. I just kept it real simple, no closing costs. You sell it for $118,000 1 year later. You pay off your $90,000 mortgage, and you're left with $28,000. You get your $10,000 back that you originally invested, plus another $18,000. When I figured that out, I darn near fell out of bed. Because that, my friends, works out to a 180% return on investment. Now, I recognize that there are closing costs, and that's why you don't sell real estate the year after you buy it. You actually wait preferably about 15 to 20 years to annualize all those closing costs. And it also doesn't take into the fact that your principal is constantly being paid down. But 180%, when I figured that out, I went, I can give up an awful lot in closing costs and still make way more than any other investment out there. And that, my friends, is the key. And what I additionally figured out is the way to figure that out is you take your appreciation factor. In this case, that was 18%. You multiply it by what I would call your leverage factor. In this case, I had a $100,000 mortgage with a $10,000 investment. So I was leveraged 10 to 1. So 10 times 18 is where that 180% works out. Because when property goes up any amount, 18% or even 6 or 8%, it's going up on the bank's money, what the bank has into it via the mortgage, as well as your own investment. It's called leverage, and it's really powerful. So remember that. Get excited about it. I know as soon as I figured it out, I went all in on real estate. I haven't looked back, and I'm glad I did, and I hope you will too. Enjoy, and enjoy the ride.